Hello everyone, what is up? Professor X is a very important character in the MCU. We technically have seen him in the MCU in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but we don't know if that means Patrick Stewart will be returning to his legacy role. So today we're going to talk about 5 actors to play Professor X, plus an honorable mention. Do you remember these 5 actors? At the time I looked at my cast I created for fan castings, these were the top 5 picked. Now, I also have some ground on who will most likely be playing Professor X. I'm sure you've all heard, so let's dive right in. So number 5 is Jason Isaacs. Jason Isaacs is 59 years old, but I don't think that's really a concern. I don't think they're really looking at age as a bigger problem as with the Fantastic Four. I think Professor X should be a little bit older. I think Jason Isaacs is a pretty good one. He's had a really long career. Lucius Malfoy. That's about as much as I honestly know about him, and I have no idea why I added that picture. That's Mark Strong. I must have messed that one up, and I apologize. Anyways, number 4, Patrick Stewart himself. People still want Patrick Stewart to return. My concern is he is 82 years old. That is pretty old, and they got to think about the future and if he can stay in that legacy role that long. I would love for him to return. I love Patrick Stewart as Professor X. He will always be known as Professor X to me. Literally played Professor X from the start and was in Doctor Strange. I think there's a potential for him to come back. I just don't know if it'll be as the main universe is. Now, number 3 is a really exciting one for me, only because I never really thought of this casting. Number 3, Ralph Fiennes, and I apologize if I mispronounced that. Ralph Fiennes is 59 years old. I think he makes an excellent Professor X. I never really thought about it until more recently, but I think he could play Professor X really well. If you don't know, he played Lord Voldemort, and he does a great job in that. I really think this would be a good role for him. This definitely grew on me, and I would not be mad about this. But number 2 is the one who I think they are casting, as there has been a lot of ground about it and a lot of rumors, and I honestly think it's probably true. And I'm totally fine with this casting, and that is Giancarlo Esposito. If you've been watching since the Doctor Doom, you know I've wanted him to be cast in the MCU for a while now. He is 64 years old, so I think he fits a really good age for that as well, similar to Jason and Ralph. I honestly think this would be a great casting. If you've seen Mandalorian, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, he is amazing, and I know he's in villain roles as that. I would love to see him take on the hero role. I think he'd be really good. Personally, I would love him more as a villain, but if he were to get casted as Professor X tomorrow, I can honestly say I would be really happy. I really like this casting, and I do think it's true. I honestly will say I think Giancarlo Esposito is our new Professor X. Now, going on to an honorable mention is one that I'm sure a few people would agree on, and that's James McAvoy. I think he did a really good job as a young Professor X. The problem I have with him is I think he would be perfect if they did a young Professor X, but otherwise I don't like the casting as much. I think James McAvoy can certainly do the role just fine, but I would prefer someone a little bit older, not necessarily as old as Patrick Stewart, but Patrick Stewart's Patrick Stewart. He will always be Professor X to me. I do think James McAvoy, if they're going with the younger one with all the multiverse stuff happening, I wouldn't mind him being the Professor X for a younger universe. Now, the last one I think is one that everybody can agree with, and that's Mark Strong. Mark Strong is 59 years old as well. I think he looks like Professor X. He fits the role really well. I think he could lead the X-Men just fine. I really do like him in this role. Mark Strong is known for Kingsman, Cruella, Shazam, you name it, he's probably been in it. I think he would absolutely rock Professor X, and I would like it. But, I really do think it's Giancarlo Esposito. I honestly can't complain about that. I think any of these 6 people would be good candidates. I don't know as much about Jason Isaac as I do about the other ones, but I think it's really interesting where they're going to go with X-Men, how they're going to introduce them. I think the biggest question is, are they going to introduce them as they've always been here, or what? But anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.